Hey everyone, Hans here. So, quick tutorial, as always, right? That I think people will find helpful. I know one person will find it helpful, and that is Patrick McGill. So he posted 2 months ago. That is funny. I was scrolling through the feedback and request channel, saw that he requested a Href integration, and the reason why he did was pretty interesting. Um, and the reason why it came back on to my radar was because McLean Earl 24 hours ago says, "Yeah, I second that, like a Href integration." So basically, what they want to do, or at least what Patrick wants to do, is take a URL, so a company, and then get the backlinks, and then you find the site owners of those backlinks, where you can say, "Hey, notice you're linking to this or that company. Would you like to link to us instead? Because we just updated our content, and it's a lot better than the stuff you're linking to." That's the most common use case for that. So yeah, let me show you how you can do that without Ahrefs. So there's this data provider called DataForSEO, dataforseo.com. They're from Ukraine, so we always love them a little bit more. And I still have an account there. I don't use them that often, but for this use case, they're great. Only thing is that to get backlink, so they have a backlink API. You need to like upload $100 or add $100 in credit to get access to it, but they're really cheap, so that should give you, like enough to for your use case. And I activated my trial, so I could record this tutorial. Either way, dataforseo.com is what you want to use. The endpoint, so there are multiple endpoints that they have. I think I used this. Yeah, I used this one right here. I honestly didn't check which would be the best one for you, but they have like some really phenomenal endpoints where you can even say, okay, you know what, you have some really crappy backlink. I don't know. There's like sky's the limit with these guys. They're incredible. So I just use their referring domains one, which basically allows you to check backlinks to a website, right? Which is what we wanted. Now, before we set this up, there is one thing that makes them a little bit tricky. So if you go to authentication right here, what they're saying, so you need to pass this header right here, so authorization, and then basic, and then after that your login and password separated by colon. But they need you to pass that in a base 64 and go to format. So here's how you do that, how you set that up for yourself. You go to your dashboard. So you create an account if you don't already have one. You either activate the trial or drop $100 on there. Then you have your API login right here, and you have your API password. You get your API password, your API login. Then you go to here to this tool called base64encode.org. And then in this format, so this would be your API key, and this is your API login, which in this case my email. Then you hit encode, and they give you this string right here, and that is your password, right? So let me grab. Well, I don't need to grab it because it's not going to work. So you pass it, and this is the bit that you see right here. So authorization, basic, and I will show you in a second how I set that up. Okay, then we have that, and we're going to set up this endpoint right here. Target is a domain. You can tell it how many backlinks you want. If you only want do follow, or you also want no follow. We want to exclude internal backlinks. There's a bunch of stuff you can add to here, which I'm not going to do because if you're doing this, then chances are you know a lot more about SEO than I do. So just show you the basic way you can set this up. And I'm also assuming you can also just drop an article in there. So, but that I'm not 100% sure. A domain or subdomain can be specified without this and that. A page should be specified. Okay, so it looks like you can, but you need to specify with the absolute URL, including HTTP or HTTPS. So yeah, it looks like you can do that. So that's great. That's it. That's everything we need, and we're going to set this up. So then in Clay, you go to add enrichment, HTTP API. Then you have this right here. Under method, you select post, that's the method. Then here is the endpoint, you paste that in there. And then you basically copy and paste this bit right here. So this, including the brackets, excluding the quotation mark. So this bit right here, you copy this, you paste that in here, you edit that however you want to edit it, and you make sure that on the target, you point to a normalized URL if it's a full website, or the full article with HTTPS and everything included if it's the article. Then I always make sure I remove quotation marks there as well, because otherwise sometimes Clay messes up and isn't able to actually pass it. So there's that. And that's it. Then under here, under headers, you drop an authorization basic, and this is your, the base 64 encoded string that you got from the tool there. And that is everything. Then you hit save and you run however many rows you want. And this is the data it gives you. It costs 2-ish cents per domain. Looks like it could be that's different for depending on your use case, but that's what it costs for me. And it's like an instant thing. So within half a second, I set the limit to 10. So within half a second, I get 10 backlinks. And here on the result, you get the backlinks. So shopbdc.com is referring to them as a certain spam score. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, because again, I'm not an SEO expert. Then BDC stage refers to them. Let's see, random IP address, t0productions.com. I'm guessing this is the amount of backlinks that domain has, but I'm not 100% sure. Then you can see when they started. So you could say, hey, noticed you linked to them 3 years ago, but actually that stuff is outdated, because 3 years is a long time. We updated our guide yesterday. You should link to us instead. And a whole bunch of other stuff you can get from here that I'm sure, if you're into this, you will find that very helpful. So that's how you set that up. And let me know if you have any questions around that, but hopefully you found that helpful. Have a good one. Bye-bye.